Kay asks, how do you handle when you offer the potty and they refuse? When do you know they need to go? Or for them to pee very shortly after? Our little is 12 months, EC'd since 3 months, diaper free since 9 months. Okay, okay, when you know they need to go, how do you handle when they refuse the potty? You know they need to go. My youngest is also 14 months right now, so very close by. And yeah, after you put we have these little tiny pull-up things, the cloth pull-ups, he'll pee in one 5 minutes later. So this is completely common. Anna, if you could please find that blog post, that is my baby refuses the potty and pees on the floor 5 minutes later, specifically that blog post. I want you to post up a link to that, especially for Kay, but for everybody else, because this is so common. So when they're refusing, it's because, okay, so here's one solution is to do this. They refuse. You pick them up. You walk around the house. They're naked from the waist down. Walk around the house, do something else, and then you just pop them back on. Right when you pop them back on, if you're sitting there in front of them and you're in their face, they're going to feel like they're going to feel pressure. There's the link right there. They're going to feel pressure. They're going to feel like, I really should be doing this myself. I should be able to walk out this door and into the place where everybody else poops and pees and go by myself. Should, as in hundreds of thousands of years of human existence, should. Wiring, brain, everything, instincts should be doing that. When they refuse, it could be for a number of reasons. And what you should do is distract them by walking around the house real quick, pop them back on there. Right when you pop them back on, you turn your back and you really intently, you're fixing something, cleaning something, whatever. You're probably afraid they're going to jump off the toilet seat reducer. I definitely felt that before. If you're standing right there in front of the toilet seat reducer, they're going to jump off because you're there and they're taking advantage of the fact that you are ready to catch them. It's almost like continuum concept where you're expecting them to jump off, so they jump off. So that's one thing. The other thing is if they're going very shortly after, you go into the bathroom together, you lock the door, you're in there together, you get the bottoms off, you have the mini potty available, one that hopefully they can mount themselves at 12 months. If she's not walking yet, then maybe you just use the toilet seat reducer. But give the child the autonomy to be able to go over there and do it themselves. And if they pee near the toilet but not in it, it's way better. And it makes kind of way more sense with the wiring too. Like we have a space where we go to the bathroom outside as in like all of human history, but we don't have this receptacle. And now this receptacle is new and it's harder to use, right? So what we want to do is give them the opportunity to go inside the bathroom as a good first step of getting back on track with that. And that's really, those are the two things I want to leave you with because, and also this does pass, you know, are you going to stick to your beliefs and keep doing this? Or are you going to say, hey, all right, you're refusing. That means that everything the diaper companies have told me about early potty training and the damages thereof are correct. And I'm going to just stop doing EC. Or I'm just going to use the diapers more. Whereas what your child is telling you that they actually want a little more independent. They really want to be doing it themselves, but they don't have, the situation isn't set up so that they can. So we also look at Montessori School of Thought, which I'm a big fan of. I've got my homeschool curriculum over here that I'm going to be starting this fall with my daughter and my son. And I really believe that setting up the environment for their success is key for toileting success. And where is that book that I have? There's one Montessori book. Well, it's not really a Montessori book. It's called Toilet Awareness. It's a very short one, and it's got these little pictures of these little toilet setups. So you've got a little box of like a couple pieces of Kleenex because you don't want to give them the whole roll. You've got the little hamper for the wet, and you've got the little basket of new backups that you're going to put next to that, and you got the little potty. So you've got this whole setup. They go in, they do their business, and they leave. And it's very much made up so that the child can do everything themselves. But again, you want to close that door and lock it, have yourself in there with your child so that they can fully be there. And then you make pottying, if there's refusal, you make it part of a larger routine. So you guys probably know I have a board book. My daughter goes through my books regularly and just destroys everything. So I can't actually say where my board book is right now, but Anna posts a link to Tiny Potty. That shows the whole routine. And the idea is that you make it so repetitive and consistent, there's nothing to refuse. This is just what we do. When we sit down for breakfast, we put our child in the high chair. We snap him in. We put the food in front of him. We give him his water. He eats. When he starts to throw the water or the food and he says, all done, he's done. This is a process. There's no refusal in it. It is what we do. We strap him in for safety. For hygiene, we use the toilet. We make it easy for them. We set them on the stool, pull down their pants, have them help pull down the pants or push down the pants. And we, is that the right link? That looks really weird. We basically make this a very predictable, ongoing process. Here's the link for Tiny Potty. We make it something that is predictable and reliable, and that helps to prevent refusal. Now, if this turns into a full-on potty pause, you need to get my mini course on potty pauses, because that has everything I know about getting out of a potty pause and through one and why they happen. And it goes much more into detail about what I just said. So if you could please post the link for the mini course, and Kay, I'll leave it at that. Totally normal. Here's a couple ideas for what you should try. And then really it's a matter of how many more things you teach, because at 12 months, you should start wrapping up the process by giving all of the keys to the castle, all the building blocks of potty independence, I call it in my Go Diaper Free book, to the child at that time. Okay, Sarah.